Hi, today I want to walk you through just a little bit of introductory to Bill of Materials. The Bill of Materials for Microsoft Dynamics GP is part of the inventory series, so let's take a look at it. I am in Microsoft Dynamics GP 2013, but Bill of Materials has been around a little while, and most of what you'll see is pretty much the same regardless of the version you're on. Let's start by looking at cards. And what I want to do is go to items first of all, and I want to take a look at one particular item. And I want to pull this up. You can see this is just a regular desktop fax system item that we keep in sales inventory. So this is an item that we keep in stock. I also want to point out that we have 0 on hand right now. And again, this is the desktop fax system. So now let's go under cards to bill of materials, and we're going to find a bill number for this exact same system. So this is not an item that we buy from a supplier and resell. This is an item that we build in-house. So we kind of do light manufacturing, if we will, on this item. Now, we can sell in sales order processing both kits and we can sell items. Now a kit is something that you put together at the time you're selling it, so you don't keep any in stock, and therefore you can't possibly have an item that has a serial number or a lot number associated with it. In the bill of materials world, it's something that you could either build for a particular sale, or you can build and store in inventory, stock it in inventory, and you can create serial numbers and lot numbers affiliated with it. Another thing you can do with kits is you can have a kit have a component or a piece that you use that requires a bill as well. So if you think of a kit, as a good example of that would be, and one I use a lot, is a hamburger. So for example, the Big Mac at McDonald's. So when you buy it, on your receipt it says 1 Big Mac, but what you're really taking from inventory is 2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and a sesame seed bun. Okay, so you can remove pieces of it. You could say no pickles. So it would say, your receipt would then say Big Mac, no pickles, because then it's telling you the system not only to not put the pickles on your sandwich, but don't take the pickles out of inventory. Where a bill of materials, you could during the course of building it, you can replace components, but the customer doesn't necessarily request that no pickles be included. So again, this is something that you would build ahead of time. And I mentioned that they could have, like, one of the components can be built, so it would have what's called a sub-assembly. Let's take a look at the indented bill, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So to build one of these desktop fax systems requires, and we'll start here, one, whatever this is, control panel, 1 Pro Processor 4S, 8 hours of installation time, 60.5 feet of single conductor wire, and 1 fax machine package. Now you'll see the plus sign, so we can expand this a little bit. So this is actually a sub-assembly. So a fax machine package consists of 1, I don't know how to pronounce this, fax 6E, and 4 service plans, or 4 quarters of service plan. And so these things make up this. So this is actually a sub-assembly, and you could have up to like 10 sub-assemblies deep and create them as you go along. And in this particular case, this data card assembly, you can see it also is made up of 4 additional items. Okay, so we've looked at this item and we know, okay, we don't have any in stock, and it's actually an inventory item. Let's pull it back up again. Let's take a look at it one more time. Okay, and let's go to options, and we can see we're not tracking anything right now. No serial numbers or lot numbers, but you can track the serial numbers and the lot numbers that become part of the item, so that as you sell it to the customer, you'll know specifically which data card went in which fax machine. Okay, so under transactions we have something called assembly entry, and I'm going to pull one up for the same fax machine. So we're saying if we create one, these are all the pieces that will be used, and again, this one and these top two are sub-assemblies, so they'll have to be made from something else. And if we need 2, you can see the quantities increase and so forth. So we'll just go back to 1. And let's release this order. So we're going to release this build. And we have a couple things that we'll notice. One of them is this is a serial lot number item. So we need to attach serial and lot number items with it. And select which serial or lot numbers we want to choose. I want to choose this particular lot number. So I'll pull it up from my list and insert it. Okay, so now I have my serial and lot number, my lot numbers associated with it. And here you can see we have this other item. And this other item indicates that we have a shortage. So we don't have any in stock or enough in stock. So you can see we have 0 on hand. So with this bill, we are 1 short. So what I'm going to do, let's just save this. And I've already got the entry in, so we'll post this just to increase that inventory by 1. So now let's pull up our assembly again, and let's take it off release and release it again. And now this time you can see that indeed we no longer have this shortage that we had before. So, and because we unreleased it, let's go back and select our item again. Let me just grab this one, insert. All right, and good. Okay, so now we're ready to build that item. So once we know everything's been built, we can, oops, we got it in a batch. Let's get rid of the batch. We could post it. And then what will happen is all those inventory, those parts are going to be removed from inventory, and then that one finished good will exist. So let's look at the posting report on the screen. Okay, so our first report just is all of the components and their cost and all the assembly information. We'll close that out. The next report are the GL account numbers that were affected by this bill. So we reduced our inventory of retail parts and we increased our inventory of finished goods. So you can see the credit and the credit there. And cost variance, no cost variance, so that's fine. Okay, so that's how the inventory would work. And so now let's go back and pull up our good again. And now you can see we have 1 on hand to sell. Now this is, I left off a whole bunch of stuff because this isn't a training class on it. I just wanted to introduce you to it. But you can see it's pretty simple to use. The system will help guide you in all the components that you need to assemble, so you can get a list and create your assembly, and then it'll store all the assembly information. So if you want to have the same kind of features that you have available for kits, but you only want to track specific serial numbers, or you want to store them in inventory beforehand, then this is a great way to do it. So I encourage you to learn more about bill of materials, and I hope this helps. Thanks.